It is time to round up the big topics of the week. And first up, Ted Nugent. He's apologized for calling President Obama a, quote, subhuman mongrel. The rocker's comments brought negative attention to Greg Abbott's run for Texas governor. Abbott campaigned with Nugent earlier this week. Since then, many Republicans, including Abbott and Governor Rick Perry, have denounced the remarks. On Friday, Nugent admitted he crossed the line, saying he is sorry for his choice of words, but he's not necessarily sorry for criticizing the president. So is Ted Nugent's apology sincere, and what effect does it have on the race for governor and Republicans? We are tackling that topic right now with our Sunday panel, and we invite you to join in. You can weigh in on our Facebook page, or you can send me a tweet at Sally Mack, Fox 26. We'll be reading some of your comments. Joining us right now in the newsroom is our legal analyst, Chris Tritico, our news analyst, Mustafa Tamiz, and public policy analyst, Jackie Bally. All right, what do you guys think about this one?
You know, I think that this was Greg Abbott's first real gaffe. He had a week ago the problem down on the border, but that really wasn't, in my view, as big a gaffe as this one was. Bringing in Ted Nugent, I'm not sure what he thought he was going to gain by bringing Ted Nugent in. Ted Nugent attracts the far, far right of the party, and those people are always going to vote for Greg Abbott. And so by bringing in someone as divisive as Ted Nugent, that may actually have the effect, Jackie Bally, of sending those moderate Republicans really over towards the Democrats if they strongly object to the words that Ted Nugent uses, like subhuman mongrel, or the allegations that he was talking about dating underage women and those girls, excuse me. Those things could actually drive moderate Republicans over to the Democrats, couldn't it?
I don't think Ted Nugent's comments are going to drive any Republicans over to Senator Davis's camp. First of all, we know that Ted Nugent, that's what he does. He's an entertainer. He's going to make some comments. I'm very happy to hear that he apologized, because regardless of how we feel of the president and his policies, he is the president and we need to respect the office. So I'm very happy to see that he apologized. General Abbott has made sure that he denounced his comments. He said that they're inappropriate. And we're not going to hold General Abbott responsible for what someone else says, the same way we didn't hold Senator Wendy Davis when her staff was making fun of the fact that the general is handicapped. So no one took her staff.
Did she really make fun of the fact that he was handicapped?
No, her staff did. Her staff, you can look it up. Her staff said, isn't it ironic that we're standing with Wendy and here he is in a wheelchair? I mean, it was common knowledge. And the fact that her staff said that, she did not, no one condoned her, or no one felt that she was tied to those comments. It was people who worked on her camp.
The apology came, I'm sorry, the denunciation from Greg Abbott came a week later. He spent a week trying to use Ted Nugent. It took him a week after Rick Perry said this is wrong. Did he wait too long? Is this going to hurt him?
Absolutely. If it doesn't, it should, right? Because first, it's not what just Ted Nugent just said now against the president. It's what Ted Nugent says about women, what he says about minorities.
It's on the screen now.
If you look at the words, you know, it's shocking that someone would say that publicly. And then afterwards, when he was asked to apologize, his apology was really about that it caused a controversy, not necessarily an apology to the president. And not about what he just said now, but he said things about immigrants, he said things about women, and his actions about, you know, there's just so much about Ted Nugent. And the fact that he campaigned with him sends a real message, because we don't know what's in Ted Nugent's heart, but certainly his words are racist and bigoted. And we don't know Mr. Abbott, or whether he supports those words or not, but it's certainly by his actions that he took him a week to even get to the point where he was saying, I wouldn't use those type of words. None of the elected officials, Governor Perry, Mr. Abbott, Ted Cruz, all have said they might have not used those words, but they have not distanced themselves from Mr. Nugent. The only one that has done that is Rand Paul. And this is surprising and shocking to me, and voters should look at this very carefully.
All right, let me go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media accounts.
Yeah, we've got lots of people weighing in on this one. Samantha says we should ignore such statements rather than fuel the fire. Our viewer Rick is up with us. He says Ted Nugent is everything that is wrong with America. And then Sue Ellen says Nugent is telling the truth. He hasn't skewed my decisions to vote for Abbott. I agree with him.
Ted Nugent is telling the truth. So I guess she thinks the president's a subhuman mongrel, but I don't agree with that. But you know, the thing is when you're going to bring in somebody to help you with your campaign, shouldn't you do some vetting before you do it? And clearly, I don't believe that Greg Abbott, or at least his people, weren't aware of these very divisive comments before they brought him in, hugged him, and endorsed him, and used him in the campaign.
Well, they didn't endorse him. They brought him in because they were trying to make a point with Senator Davis now saying she is pro-gun rights. And he is very popular with pro-gun rights, with the constituents who are very pro-gun rights. But the fact, again, that someone in your camp, someone affiliated with the campaign says something does not mean that you are saying it. And the fact that the general has said, look, I do not believe that. I denounce this. He came out. No one in the Republican Party is going to hold this against him.
So real quick, we're almost out of time. Is this going to hurt Greg Abbott? Is it going to hurt Greg Abbott?
Not at all.
This not only should help Greg Abbott, but it tells you about his values. Because when he says he's got Texas values, what Ted Nugent not just said about the president, but what he said about minorities, women, we all should hold him accountable.
All right, we're going to have to leave it right there. We'll see what this does. You know, it's so early in the campaign that this is probably going to die before we have Election Day, Sally. But we'll see where it goes.
All right, a reminder to our viewers, the primary is next week, March 4th. So get out and vote. Okay, thanks, guys. We'll see you in our next half hour.